Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Leia and welcome to Expat Guide Philippines. To those who are returning viewers, I really appreciate you for keep on returning and watching my videos. I appreciate you also for supporting me in this journey of mine where I'm sharing my experiences and my tips for foreigners out there. So today I would like to share about my experience as a traveler abroad and the misconception of Filipinos or anyone that is thinking that if you are well traveled, if you have traveled out of the country, we have this misconception that it's easier for us to travel again internationally or abroad. But this is my real story of being held at the immigration even after traveling to many countries. So I have traveled to Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, India, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Malaysia. And a few years ago, I wanted to travel out of the country, and the immigration officer at the airport held me for investigation. And that really surprised me because, oh, I actually have already a lot of stamps in my passport, and I have been out of the country many times, and I have been questioned and investigated. And it happened to me three times. Three times after I've already traveled a lot of countries. And so, yeah, I'd like to give this information to those of you, especially those foreigners who are having Filipina partners. Even after you have a visa of a particular country, you still need to prove to the immigration officers at the airport that you are deserving to get out of the country. In my case, I was going out for a company trip to Taiwan, and I was with my coworkers and my manager. So we were already at the airport, and before you're going to your flight, they have to, an immigration officer will check your documents and ask you a few questions. And among all of us, I was the one being held and investigated. And what was bothering was not really that you are investigated or they have to check your documents and stuff. What was bothering actually was the attitude of the immigration officer who was investigating not just me, but other Filipinos that time who are going out of the country. And the way that was the attitude of how you are being held there like you are doing something wrong. The tone was not really polite. That was way back 2019, and I wish I had my camera at that time, to record it. But I know that they are just doing their job, but can't they just do it politely? So me, I'm already like well traveled, and I am very confident that I have the documents of the company with me, and I also have with me, traveling with me was our manager. So for if ever they would need her, I am ready to contact her and come to the office for the investigation if ever they need her. And so I was like not moved, or like I'm sure this will be fine. So I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. I waited actually almost 3 hours until my flight is being called already for takeoff. And the first thing that bothered me was the attitude of the immigration officer. And the second thing that bothered me was the waiting time. Because my flight is almost gonna be called for takeoff, and I'm still like, I think I was the 10th. There were like a lot of Filipinos that was being held for investigation before they're gonna send you out to your flight, to your plane. And I'm like, oh my god, my plane is about to take off and I'm still here. I'm the 10th. So I went to the officer asking, like, is it possible for you to interview me first, because my flight is going to take off and you have to wait for your turn. The tone was really so bad. You have to wait for your turn because there were others ahead of you. But I said that my flight is going to take off soon. I that's my flight being called right now. I don't want to miss it, and especially that this is company funded. So she still like dismissed me. So I called my manager who was inside, and I told her to come and help me out. And I also called one of the officers of the plane to also, I told her to bring anyone from the plane representing the flight or the plane to also help me out, telling this officer that the plane is about to take off and that she should prioritize me among the others. And so she came, my manager came together with officer of the airline, and they both like politely told her that she needs to get on the plane, otherwise she will miss it and she really will lose a lot of important opportunities and meetings where we are going in the country that where we're going. It's important, like her presence is important there, like they make her realize that it is important. And that's when she's like, okay, so she investigated me, she asked me the same questions, like the same questions that was asked in the prior to before you go there was being asked. And the documents, I provided the documents of my company and everything. And so, yeah, okay. Then I got like the go signal to go ahead to my flight. And I was just very grateful for the flight, the airline staff, and the airline also, because they were so patient to wait for me. Actually they waited almost like 20 minutes. They didn't take off. They waited for me to get on the plane. That was really, really amazing for them. I was blessed that that airline was considerate, and they waited for me to get on the plane together with my manager who was with me, and one of the airline staff, and one of the airline staff was with me too. I was confident that there's nothing they can hold me back. But I was observing other Filipinos there that was held back. Like some of them are like OFWs, and it was their first time to go out. And when the officer was like really having not, expressing things in not a nice tone, the Filipinos who were there for the first time was really nervous and was really, some of them were crying. And I asked myself, like, why are they doing this? They already got the visa, they already got the working visa for a particular country, and they're being held at the airport and being investigated again and again. And so those OFWs that it's their first time to go out of the country, it's the first time, and they also invest a lot of money for going out. It creates like really not a nice feeling, and I pity them because they were, of course, it's their first time, they're not confident. And yeah, I'm really thinking, why are they doing this? So as I said, it happened with me 3 times. So that was the second time was when I went to Singapore for Tony Robbins event, the Unleash the Power Within. And again, they held me back, asking me the same thing. The same thing, actually, that the first officer is asking you when you go in. You are being investigated, you are being held back and brought to another officer for the same questions. And I'm like, why are you guys holding back people to go out, And the third time was going to Indonesia, which I already have. I went already to Indonesia. There's already like a stamp on my passport that I went to Jakarta. And it's not my first time to go to Indonesia. Thing is, because I'm self-employed, so they were asking for anything that will be evidence that I'm coming back. But I'm just like going to Bali for tourist visa, and they wanted me to show them the bank, the funds, the bank account, and the business that the business that I just started. I just started a business, so there's no flow of income yet, and that's where they like, this is not good evidence, not there's not much evidence for you to come back to the Philippines. I'm like, I didn't bring actually my documents because I'm just going there as a tourist for a few days. Like, why would I bring all of my of those personal stuff? And I researched it online. And also, I have been to Indonesia already, and it was not like that before. It was easy for me before to just go there because it's a visa on arrival. So this is just shedding a light to those who are traveling abroad that there are times. Well, I traveled many times already, but there out of those probably 12 times, 3 times I was being held by the officers in the airport, investigating, asking again the documents, even after you have already traveled in that same country, even after you have the visa already, they still will try to find a reason for you not to go out. But then I understand that they're doing their job, and I also understand that they wanted to protect the Filipinos because their reason was like, we don't want you to go to that country because there is a case of human trafficking in the country that I wanted to go, and they're just protecting me from it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm already 40. I'm already 40 plus. I'm already adult enough to have my own decision if where I'm going to is a danger for me or not. And especially that I have traveled, that's not even like the most dangerous country. I've traveled to a more dangerous country and they let me go there. And this one is not even that dangerous for me. I mean, based on the news. So is there any experience that you have gone through? Is there like your girlfriend, your partner who has gone through the same experience with me, being held in the immigration officer in the airport before flying out? And is there any experience of someone you know also that has the same experience with me? Please comment on the comments box, because this will be like a learning experience also for others, that even if you traveled already, you still have to really be prepared with your documents. Because the last time, the last instance that I did wrong was that I did not bring any documents, thinking that it's just a tourist visa for a few days in that particular country. And also, I actually was researching online about it, and also I was thinking I already been to that country, so I'm sure they will let me. But among the 3 instances, the 2 times that I was held, it was okay, they let me go. But I almost was not able to. Good thing the airline was very considerate and waited for me for a few more minutes. But the last one, the airline was not considerate. Nobody helped me out from the staff of that airline. They just don't care. I did not bring the documents, the extra documents, which was really unexpected. I actually did not expect it. So I did not get the flight. I lost the flight. When you travel, even if a new traveler, I also know a lot of friends who are a new traveler, like it's their first time to get out of the country, and they're okay. They were able to go out of the country without any questions. And I also know a lot of first timers I told you, the one that was there with me during the investigation at the airport, they even have already the working visa from the particular country. They already have all of the documents from the employers, and still they're being held by the officers. And yeah, that happens. So the lesson here is that even if you are well traveled, even if you have already traveled to the same country many times, always bring with you all the documents that is needed, even if you are just visiting there. So that includes your bank funds. Even if that was not needed before, bring with you the bank funds. You have to prove to them that you have enough funds in case of emergency. If something happens to that country outside of the Philippines, you are ready for anything, so bring your bank funds, like a screenshot of your bank funds, or even just in put it on your email, all the documents proving that you have a route here, that you are coming back here. So if you have a property in your name, if you have a business in your name, if you have um, anything, or the ITR as well, the BIR, the income tax return, bring it with you. These are the documents that you have to bring with you to the airport, even after you already have the visa. And if you are married, of course, the marriage certificate and all of those documents. Really, just be prepared, because if not, you might lose the flight. And not just that, you might lose a lot of money because they're not letting you fly. They really can hold you to fly out, even with just, you forgot to bring one document to prove that you are okay for emergency outside of the Philippines, and also to prove that you're coming back to the Philippines. Thank you so much for being here. If you happen to have the same experience, please share in the comments box below, and I would love to hear how was it. And if you are a foreigner with a Filipina girlfriend, Filipina partner that is going out with you outside of the Philippines, take note of these experience, and take note of the documents that I have mentioned. If you're sponsoring a Filipina, you have to research properly on the documents, because there are countries where if you're sponsoring a Filipina, for example, you're going to Thailand or Bali, and you're sponsoring a Filipina, you have to have the certificate. You have to have a certificate where it's like you have to register yourself in the embassy, in the Philippine embassy in Bali or in Thailand, and proving that your intention is pure to that Filipina and you're sponsoring her. And that certificate will be given to the Filipina, so she can go out of the country with you. So that is research, because it depends on the country. It depends on the requirement per country. So please research that. Do a lot of research, extensive research, and call the embassy. Even call the embassy, the Philippine embassy, if you are sponsoring a Filipina and you're outside of the Philippines, you're not with her. Because if you're with her, you will be questioned at the airport, and you will have to give them a proof that you're together for a quite number of months. So you will show your pictures together, your travel together, all of this, and then your own funding as a sponsor. But if you're outside of the Philippines and you sponsor a Filipina, you have to, depends, as I said, depends per country, okay? But most of it, you have to go to the Philippine embassy in that particular country. For example, Philippine embassy in Bali, Philippine embassy in Thailand, and you will submit your documents that you're sponsoring her. And that document will be sent to her in the Philippines, and that will be the one that she will bring with her to the airport and present it to the immigration officer before she flies out. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your time, for watching this video, and best of luck. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a Filipina partner who's going out with you out of the Philippines, best of luck. Just no worries, as long as you have all of the documents with you and you do your research well on the documents, what type of documents that you need to present, whether before taking the visa or during the flight. No worries for that. Just don't forget any document. All right? So thank you so much. I'm actually right now in Siquijor. So you can see the white sand. It's beautiful here. So thank you so much for your time, guys. And I'll see you again in the next video. For those who are new, if you like my vibe, please hit subscribe. Bye.